Jake here for American Trucks, and today I'm taking a look at the Raxium Axial Series sequential LED mirror lights fitting 2019 and newer Ram 1500s. Now, mirror lights are a boon for safety and visibility, but having those big amber lenses on your mirrors doesn't necessarily look all that great. So ditch those stock ones for these upgraded units from Raxium. These bring a nice upgrade to your lighting and add a cleaner look to your Ram by keeping the functionality of having the mirror lights and giving your truck a slightly more modern look. They're also an inexpensive and easy modification to make, so they're a win all around. Replacing your mirror lights may seem like a small upgrade, but just swapping out the stock units for these can make a huge visual difference. The first thing you'll notice are the clear lenses here, and you'd be forgiven for thinking that these might have come from the factory on your Ram. They look just about right, giving you that sort of OEM type look, just maybe a little elevated, perhaps slightly European even. Either way, they're definitely an upgrade visually versus the amber ones in most Rams from the factory. But beauty here is more than skin deep. Inside, they feature amber SMD LED strips that give you a clean, sharp line of light all the way across the lens. So there's no single point of light here like a factory incandescent bulb. This whole thing is gonna light up. And it's gonna light up sequentially, since these are sequential, so when you trigger your turn signals, they're gonna light up and go all the way out too. It's a pretty neat little trick. Again, something that's just a little bit elevated versus factory. And since these are LEDs, they're gonna have a much longer lifespan than those factory incandescent bulbs too. And they're gonna be brighter, especially given this clear lens. So they're gonna make a big impact on overall visibility. There is no way to miss these when you're out on the road, making it all that much safer and, making your truck look a little bit cooler while you're at it. Construction is all OEM grade plastic for the housings, and the lenses, of course, are made from the industry standard polycarbonate. And the whole thing here is weather sealed too to keep out dirt and moisture, gonna protect those electronics inside and make them last a long time. Pricing, however, might be one of the biggest selling points, as these are only gonna run you about $75, which I would say is a pretty good value for money for something like this. As always, I am a big fan of anything that makes an aesthetic and functional improvement, especially when it comes in at less than $100. So for the price point here, if you wanna make a little bit of a change, give your truck that little extra something on the outside, these are definitely worth it, and they're not gonna break your bank either. Installation is gonna get a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and it should only take you about 30 minutes to get this done. This is a pretty straightforward installation, definitely something you can accomplish at home, but do know that you're gonna have to do some disassembling of your mirrors in order to get the old lights out and swap these in. However, they do utilize all the factory mounting points, so you don't need to modify anything, and wiring's already done for you, so you can just plug these in. No need to worry about resistors or anything like that either. And to show you exactly what's involved in this install process, let's head on over to the install bay.
Tools required for this install include a flathead screwdriver, a long pick tool, a T20 Torx driver, and a T15 Torx wrench. What's up, guys? Today we're installing a set of LED mirror lights on our Ram, so let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is remove the glass from our mirror. So you're gonna tilt this all the way down to be able to get access into the top. There are 4 tabs around a circular piece that hold our mirror in. You only need to get 2 of these. So I've got a 90-degree pick that will get in there and get the top 2, and then we can wiggle out the glass. Now that we have our mirror glass popped out, we have these 4 tabs are the ones you're looking for. And then we can disconnect our wires. And disconnect our connector as well. And remove our glass. Next, we can pop off the upper cover of our mirror. So we need to take a T15 Torx driver to remove this bolt. So now with our screw removed, we need to release these 4 clips to pop that off. So we can get a flathead screwdriver to pry down and push on our tabs. And then we have one last tab at the bottom that we can just pop out and remove our upper cover. Next, we can remove our lower cover. We have a T20 Torx screw in this hole, as well as another one here. So I've got a T20 Torx driver to pop these out. And then we also have 2 clips right down the seam that we can just pop out. And then we can pull back on our gray tab and push in to release the connector. So now with our lower cover removed, we can pull back on this gray tab and press it in to remove our connector. And now we can remove these 2 T20 screws to pop our light out. So now we can grab our new light and put that into place. And then we'll thread in our 2 screws. And then we'll take that T20 Torx driver to tighten those down. And then we can take our new connector and slide that in, and then we'll press down the gray locking tab and we can get this back installed. And now with our lower cover clicked into place, we can reinstall our 2 screws. Once again, using that T20 Torx driver. And now we can reinstall our upper piece. This little hook's gonna go into this hole. And we'll just pop it right back into place. So now with our upper cover popped into place, we can reinstall that T15 Torx screw. Now we can reinstall our connectors for the mirror and get our glass back in. Now the black with the blue stripe is going to go on the inside post, and the solid black is going to go on the outside. And then we can just line up our tabs and pop our glass back on. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Raxiom Axial Series sequential LED mirror lighting for your 2019 and newer Ram 1500. Thank you for watching, and for all things Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.